Watercolorland is filthy with incredible watercolor books. And I have far too many that I've not even paid enough attention to. And today that's going to stop. We're going to take a look at a bunch of just incredible books swarming around Watercolorland that need your attention. I'm going to show you a little bit, paint a little bit. Yeah, okay. Just come along. It's going to be a blast. Okay. This first book I want to talk about, I'm stoked because it's a fellow Schiffer author. My publisher, Schiffer Publishing, if you haven't heard me talk about them. James Lancel McKinley. I don't know how to say it. Close enough. And this is the Southwest. And my friends at Schiffer sent this over to me. So I'm just going to read you the back. Keeping visual journals has been popular for centuries among expeditionary artists such as Seth Eastman, Kern Brothers, Henrik Balden Mulhausen, and Thomas Moran, who blazed a trail for the Taos School, the Marsden School, Marsden Hartley, Georgia O'Keeffe, and Agnes Martin, among others. For the Taos School, Marsden Hartley, Georgia O'Keeffe, and Agnes Martin, among others. Topographical drawing was essential. Knowing what destinations look like let voyagers know that they had arrived. Oh, I love this. Carrying the concept to the next level. Sketchbook Traveler expands plein air painting beyond the range of easels and backpacks, providing educators with instructional concepts. It gives professional artists many new and old ways to hone mobile sketching skills. I love this. And it feels, it's like a chipboard cover with a matte finish. I am all about, you know how food is all about mouth feel? Well, books for me are about hand feel. And it's got a linen spine. This is one of the biggest reasons biggest reason, but there's so many reasons I chose Schiffer. Number one, because they wanted to publish my book. That was a big one. But I was super stoked to find out they are just bar none when it comes to quality of the books they create. Mapping and composition. The frame. Actors learn how to walk across a stage. Painters must also own their space. Let's use a photograph. See, he does the thing I do. I'm assuming he might be of a different generation than I, so I do the thing he does. Yeah. Locate the horizon line. I love that. Yep. This is some awesome compositional stuff. The rule of thirds. I get asked about this a lot. The preceding lesson gives us one way to avoid falling into the common trap of putting our prime focal point in the center of the page. Yes. It can be in the center, but you have to do some tricksy things to work around it. I love that. Now he goes into Joshua Tree. Look at that. He maps out Hall of Horrors, Joshua Tree National Park. This is so cool. Has anybody ever been to Monument Valley? I've been there a few times. It's not a national park. I think it's owned by the Navajo Nation. Is it the Navajo Nation? Anybody correct me? It's incredible. So many Westerns filmed there. Anyway, let's take a little look. What I had hoped I would have time to do today is take something from each book and kind of show it to you in real life, like explain it in real life, essentially. So I love this, rule of thirds and avoiding, just want to soften this binding a little bit for me. Break it in a little, huh? I want to address this, I think, and it's so interesting that this popped up. I mean, I'm not surprised that it popped up at the beginning of a traveling sketchbook kind of book topic, but composition is something I am asked about all the time. So what I want to do is grab a photo. Let me just search Zion. So I want to show you the rule of thirds as it really plays out, right? Okay, this is a great one to look at, because easily you could get very like, where is my focal point? Where is my focal point? Um, because when you first glance, the focal point's right here. And I'm going to say, unfortunately, the focal point's right there. I'm going to say, unfortunately, the focal point's right there. And I think I took this shot. Shame on me. So what I would do differently, recreating this, working from this, or if I was there retaking the photo, or if I was there painting this live and in living color, I'm just going to use a creamy yellow. This is my Daniel Smith palette. I'm just using, it's the first brush I picked up. What I would probably do, thinking about rule of thirds, I love the horizon line. I'm actually going to bring it up a little, right? I do love this kind of really cool rocky situation, right? But I would roll it in a little bit, not show as much of it. This I think I would make super washy. This I would make super bright, super foreground, even though in the photo it's in shadow, right? This is just a super quick sketch, so you could understand my thought process around this. So I'm trying to make this right in here my focal point. So hopefully that makes sense. Rule of thirds. 1, and then maybe we do a little something, 1/3 from here up is your first third. And maybe we do something really kind of just bright down here is our bottom third, right? So it becomes 1, 2, 3, and down. Rule of thirds. So I'm going to actually sketch right over this so you can see. 1, 2, 3. That's your thirds, right? And then your focal point comes in kind of, it's a little off. Oops, that's off. Oh my gosh. Hello, Christy Rice. Get it together. Even that's a little off. But this is a focal point. See, this is the one you don't want. This is your center. You don't want that one, right? This is one, and that's where we put it. Does that make sense, y'all? All right, let me know if that was helpful. That, I think, is probably the biggest thing we could take from this book. I'll be honest. Not that the rest of it isn't amazing. I want to continue reading through this. But once you understand quadrants, focal points, rule of thirds, and it, you know, you can deep dive into it, but it is gold. It is gold. It is gold. Love it. Awesome. I'm going to just pop that in there. Put her on the flow. All right. So the next book I wanted to take a look at, Watercolor Wanderlust, The Ultimate Guide to Painting Beautiful Landscapes. This is by Hannah M. Pickerel. Friends, if you want to check out in the description below, I have all of the book information for you. 20 comprehensive tutorials for mountains, forests, deserts, seascapes, and more. Which one do I want to do? I want to do this ocean. I want to do the ocean. I want to do the ocean. I remember, we're going to break the spine. I'm going to soften the spine because I'm sorry. All right. Motion of the ocean. She's using phthalo, turquoise, indigo, burnt sienna. Okay. Watercolor paper, brushes, portrait. All right. We're going to do this one. Motion of the ocean, yo. See how we do. I tend to do tutorials and not read the tutorial. I just kind of like to wing ding it to show you that you are allowed to wing ding it. So I'm going to do a little of that indigo up here. Beep, 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 beep. Do a little pulling with another color. I'm gonna make mine a little more colorful, well, a little more like color variety. Definitely not necessarily more colorful. When I go off camera there, I'm blotting on some paper towel and rags. We're gonna go into my case for making palette. And let's get that swoop-a-doop in. Backfill with water. Oof, gorgeous. She's got a real hard edge here. I'm just using my filbert. She's working nice. She's got a few little more crooks and crannies in here, giving it some more personality that I want to add. I actually like this little more of a hard edge. Just a little bit more personality. Now I'm going to watch this as she dries to see if I'm getting any cauliflowering, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to. Right here, we've got kind of a, you know, drier against wetter situation, which means we're going to get a little cauliflowering. I spritzed it a little. I'm just adding more indigo. I might go up here with some ink. Wait, let me see if I have to lift anything. No. Okay. Yeah. I'm going in the clean well of my double well painter's pot, getting some clean water and going backwards and then blotting the paint off that I lifted, getting more clean water, going backwards and blotting off the paint I just lifted. All right. Lovely. Let's see. Please read through the following instructions before you start. Yeah. Crap. Using large brush, immediately switch to the blue color. Okay, so we're going all the way down. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we don't even need that hard edge. That's it. Huh. Make sure you water down your sand color. Should add a drop or two. Okay. I don't know. You know, maybe I should read things more, but we're going to soften that. This is a good lesson. Just some clean water. Soften, soften, soften. And she's kind of, it looks like she's going in like a U shape, right? Does it not? Now I've got a little staining because I didn't read. But she also definitely has some decided texture. I'm blotting again. Decided texture. You use what blues you want. There is no reason that you have to stick to whatever blues. Now what I'm doing here to get this texture is I put down the color, I blotted, I'm drying my brush off right now, coming back, kind of lifting, but it's all going in kind of this swoopy direction, lifting, lifting, blotting, lifting, blotting, lifting, blotting, lifting. Now it looks like she kind of wet under here and then applied the burnt sienna. I'm just going to use whatever brown is right in front of me here, double dipping, and we're going to do a little bit of that. We don't need a lot of the color, I can see from what she's got here, and blending it back into the brown, but I'm not doing a lot of brush work because I don't want to get too much brown and blue mixing because we're based on kind of the undertones of that brown, we're going to get some greens, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, how did she do that? Oh, look at, what are in the white gouache? Okay, so we need bleed proof white. Is this fun, y'all? Just me to go just completely bonkers and do these tutorials. Is this fun? Is this helpful? Just seeing me work through it. I'm gonna go up here. No, I actually like that. I kind of like what's happening. Yeah, there's a little weirdness there, but I like what's happening. Do I need more dark? I feel like I need more dark. I think it needs to come down more. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying. I'm running out of this blue because I use it all the time. Now we're in a kind of a damp, really damp on really damp situation. You know, wet on wet. Well, this is really damp on really damp. Now I want a little more action. So I'm going to leave that texture there. I want to make sure my bleed proof white is still juicy. She is, but I'm going to juice her up a little more. This is a little something I do. It's something a lot of us do. This isn't like magic that I thought of, but just always keep, you know, after you use your bleed proof white, because you can see I even now have some crunchies in there. Just always give it a spritz and you will keep it nice and primed and ready to rumble. You can even start, like, I'm going to spend a little time here, swirl it up, swish it around. Just always give it a spritz when you're about to close that jar for the time that you've been using it. And you'll always have, I mean, you still have chunks, but you'll always have that nice consistency ready for you, that the chunks will settle. I mean, if you work on this, now I'm waiting to dry, obviously, but continue to work on this, because I didn't always do this with my bleed proof white. And you can see how long I've had it, how much I've used. It's over half gone. But I didn't always do this, so there it'll dry up and then you can re-wet it, but then you have these chunks you have to work through. I almost wonder if I should. So while I'm doing this, this is a good time. Let's talk about what bleed proof white is. I'm going to my cabinet for something. Bleed proof white is, the best way I can describe it, y'all, is that it's a super white gouache. Now, I'm going to try to do something. Remember this from when I revived my gouache? Do you remember? Give it another spritz. And when you just want that white, I mean, when I want real white in a painting, I bring out the gesso. Let's face it. This little hand mixer. It's a little, can you hear it? It's working. There you see it. I'll list this below too. And look, less chunks. Oh yeah, baby. I'm just putting this over it so I don't get spritzed with gouache, although I'd much rather get spritzed with gouache than acrylic. I love to use bleed proof with the Deerfoot brush. I need to understand what a Deerfoot brush is. So anyway, that did a nice number. Did a nice number. All right. And you can spin that in some water. That's one of the most, you hear that? Is she clean? I love this little tool. I do. All right, we're going to need that later. So she's ready. Let me read. Mix a slightly darker, more saturated version of the sand. Use the wet sand color and a large brush to create the darker strip of wet sand. Okay, see, I'm reading. I'm going to kind of try to dry brush it because it's still damp. But I'm going to, she's got more texture in this, so I'm going to, now it's kind of below here. All right, it's actually not as damp as I thought. And in this is the thing you need to know about tutorials. You can always go your own way if you feel confident. You never have to feel like, oh, I want to do something a little different here. Should I? Could I? Yeah, no, you can. But I will say there is a lot of value in doing it exactly the way it's presented to you for the first time. And then you can go your own way. You knew I was going to do it. Come on. You knew. Let's give it some zhuzh with just some lifting. I don't often do this, but maybe a little bit of paper towel texture. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, grab your white gouache and your detail brush. I'm going to use my 000, I guess. For the first layer of wave details, you want to slightly water down your gouache. Yep, okay. Okay. This is like kind of scary to me. Oh my gosh, look at this. I got to take the glasses off. So use your detail brush, start picking out your first wave. I like to place these in the seam between two colors. Okay, that makes so much sense. And she's just doing like, oh my gosh, it looks so realistic, but when you look close, it's just like little swirly doos. My first wave is between the dark blue. So I almost feel like I'm going to do my wave here, and then maybe I'll lift some of this out. And it'll be a second, or just drag some of it. I can drag some of it over, or not. Okay. All right. I want to wing ding this and see how it feels to me. And she's definitely leaving some darker spots. I want to water that down more for sure. I'm kind of just doing little curvies. Ooh, this is fun. And that'll blend with what's underneath a little bit, which is fun. And then the edge is where she has kind of the darkest, or not darkest, most opaque kind of. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. This is so cool. Y'all, you got to get this book. What I loved about the projects in this book is they all felt really recognizable in terms of realism, but not like boring realism. You know, they just had spice and personality. She's got like another dip up here. But again, you can kind of do your own thing. I'm gonna have to water that down. I think the key is like having this gradation between really thickly applied and then thinly applied, but all in these textural kind of, I'm just kind of sloopy, loopy, swirly. You see that? Now that's a little thicker. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that paint from down there. No, I need some from here. What's happening? There we go. Isn't that great? I love that so much. I really didn't read the specifics of how she created the wave brushstrokes. Now, it can be cool to do what I'm doing and not read the specifics of how the artist did it. And then if yours is kind of, if you're not loving it, then go back and be like, you know, try to figure out where you went different. And there's a lot of learning to be had in that kind of moment. This is so cool. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm not going to finish it because I want to get on to the other books. But, oh my gosh. And then, so she said where the colors kind of, do it here. So really white. Really white. This is great. So now I'm kind of scumbling. We've talked about this scumbling before. This actually makes sense to almost go in with your brush and with really cool line quality, varied line quality, like just map out that harder edge of where the wave is really kind of crashing, and then work back or up from there. Does that make sense? Give me a heck yes if this is making sense the way that I'm interpreting Hannah's incredible, incredible tutorial. And then just more scumbling. Scumbling is just kind of swirls of just a very like, almost like a shaky on purpose hand, like, ooh, see that? So I'm definitely like washing out some of the gouache with a wet brush. but then I'm coming back in and seeing where I might want to add some more highlights of more thickly applied gouache. I'm going to make this edge a little more continuous. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so good, friends. You got to get this book when you have it in the budget. Watercolor Wanderlust. I'm going to get that in the description. I have affiliate links, so I will get a little bit of love if you do, grab from my affiliate link in the description, but so good. Let's just take a quick peeky poo. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Look at this. I love more spirited color choices, showing you the structuralness behind the shadow, but then you could throw some, when it's wet, throw some pinks in there and make it like zingy zing and fun, more fun. But look how she is breaking down. This looks so realistic, but look, where is it? Look how she breaks this down for y'all. Fantastic. Like this particular project, this would be very intimidating for me, okay? Very intimidating. She's showing you her reference photo. For the love, this book is gold. But then when you see how she is breaking it down, it no longer feels intimidating. Brava. Get after it. Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm going to stick that one in there. Get her over there. All right. Next up, we have Marvelous Metallic. Now, I need to grab some metallics. Artistic Aisle. I'm going to close up. I don't need to spritz that since I just mixed it. I do, though, want to clean the edge. This is one, I really like to keep the edge clean. I am not usually so terribly precious with my supplies, but this is one thing that I have found can be really bothersome if you don't. Maybe it's because it's a metal lid. I don't know. Anyhow, this is by Sarah Style, Beginner Painting Projects to Create Shimmering Art. Ooh, okay, let's start up here. Born to Sparkle. Ooh, giraffe, she shows lettering. Ladybug, oh my gosh, I love that. Mermaid, I want to do mermaid. I love that. But let's look at some other projects she's got going on. I love this. Oh, a unicorn. Maybe I want to do a unicorn. Do I have like a white shimmer? I do. I'm going to do a unicorn. Change my mind. And I love this. She's got a little outline and a little like guide, kind of like paint by number. And of course, we're going to do this on black paper, y'all. Okay. Oh, she's doing like hair and I wonder if I should do a little pencil sketch. Okay. I'll be able to see it, y'all. You won't, I don't think. So let me just get through this quick. I love that she has this guide for you. It's fantastic. Can you all see that? I don't know, my ear or my... And then the hair, I'm going to go off with this. do a little hint of the neck. No, we don't put that. I don't put that out. You gotta talk yourself. You gotta talk yourself through these situations. Put my little eraser. I just want to get rid of that before I paint. I'm gonna do away with this, and then, all right. So, ooh, let's have fun. I'm gonna use my 1/8 inch dagger. All right, I'm just gonna, again, I think I'm gonna kind of go my own way and enjoy just the pigments, and I've got this base sketch down. The thing with, you know, shimmery watercolors that I have found in my limited use of them, admittedly, is that you have to strike that balance. And I think layering comes in, of course, but of, you know, the flow you want to feel on the brush, but also kind of getting that coverage so you see the shimmer kind of double dipped there. All at the same time while getting that beautiful kind of like flow of your brush stroke, the shape of your brush stroke. So it can be tricky. I'm gonna get some of the pink in here. These shimmers are gorgeous. I have used Artistic Isles shimmers before here and there, and they were actually some of the first like shimmery watercolors that I actually really enjoyed, which I know is weird. Everybody's like, how could you not like shimmery watercolors? And I've said it before, it came from kind of like a scanning perspective. They don't scan really well, so that can be difficult. I'm running out of water here. I also noticed like the right amount of water in shimmer watercolors when you're kind of loading that brush. If you don't have the right amount of water on your brush, it's even more obvious than other medium, you know, other types of watercolors. The paints almost feel like they're not getting velvety and creamy. They feel like they're getting gritty, if that makes sense. A little more water. I'm just going to use the pigment that's on my brush. There we go. Get a little yellow shimmy. Wait, yeah, that's gold. Yellow, gold, one of. I'm going to do mine a little different. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. Okay. And then we're going to do, I feel like I want to lay in that white, but again, here I am not reading instructions. Now, I don't think this is white shimmer, but that's okay. We can overlay something. We're going to keep that eye. I'm using my 1/4 inch dagger right now. Let's see. That white has nice coverage. Woo. Again, I'll list all the supplies, no worries. Oh, we need to make her snooty schnoot a little snootier, I think. There's such instant, I'm gonna let that bleed happen, but there's such instant gratification. I feel like with shimmer watercolors on black paper, it is just so fun. So satisfying, so quickly. Anybody love, if you're watching this on replay, do we love our shimmers? Have we not yet caught the shimmer bug? Let me know. This is where daggers shine, in these tight spaces where you're trying to get good coverage because it holds a lot, but you're also trying to have good control. This is where the 1/4 inch dagger just shines bright like a diamond. Oh yeah. Let's get some of that peach in here. Almost as like a highlight to the pink. A little underbelly to the pink. See that? I'm still using that dagger. Less pressure, going right in the tip and getting that gorgeous kind of notching, carving out of the hair there in a tight space. I almost want to swirl something back around here. Let's get into it. You look, I know I'm looking for that perfect swirl. It's not going to happen, so I'm just going to be happy with what I got. Going back to the green, kind of backfilling some swirls. See how you can do that? They don't have to be perfect. Backfilling those swirls. Oh, lordy lord. A little bit of blue. Oh, she fun. I just want to get more of that nice solid white coverage because I think that'll pop nicely against this shimmer. And I'm okay with some of these bleeds. I think they're actually super interesting. Don't we feel like pink nose, y'all? I feel like we need a pink nose, and then I'll get the smile in there. But don't we think, I just feel like I need a nose in there. Or am I just being too much? Let me know what you think. Yeah, I wanted some of that down here. So this book is so fun. I love that there's calligraphy projects. I almost did that one, but then I saw the unicorn. I'm like, no, I got to do this for my little girl. I think she'll love it. I'll give that to her when she comes home. Or no, she's home today. What am I talking about? When I get done with the live, I'll give this to her. She'll be very happy. This is a weird angle. What am I doing? I don't know. Whatever. Do you see what I mean? I want to show you what I mean. All right. There's not enough water in here. And maybe somebody who knows more about making shimmery paint can tell me. See how there's not enough, and it almost like the paint breaks down. And I've noticed this across all brands. So you gotta, it's even more important to keep that pan of shimmer activated. See that? How quickly it dries out and almost starts to break down. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. Yeah, a little pink boop. Okay. And then look at the reference. Oh, sweetie girl. Needs to be thicker though. All right. Once that's dry, I can darken that up a bit. But there she is. She's a dolly. She is a dolly. Oh, wait. Look at how that area is just resisting the white watercolor. Oh, I got pink in my brush. You could do too with some highlights. Just a few. Who's going to go out and paint themselves a uni with some shimmer? I'm telling y'all, even for those of us who are like, I hate shimmer, I'd never use shimmer because that used to be me. Do it like, just do it once as like just a fun exercise. I think you will enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy the lightheartedness of it. I think it will teach you a lot about honestly, about water control. So even if you would never show a shimmery watercolor in your final work, get yourself a little palette. I have the one, there's one on Amazon, a handmade brand that's on Amazon, super affordable. Bindi of create__D uses it. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Oh, a bee. Oh, a bee would be so fun. Ooh, that butterfly. I love this book. I love this word section. I didn't realize this was in here. Imperfection is a form of freedom. Yes. Okay. That was Marvelous Metallic Watercolor by Sarah Style. And the name of the paints is Artistic Isle, ISLE. You can find them on Instagram. Grades of Mica. Okay. All right, y'all. Watercolor in 10 minutes a day. Garima. Sristava. There we go. What kind of black paper are you using? Legion, yes. And speaking of Legion, I have a little something I want to use of theirs today. I used it on Patreon. Legion is releasing these artist panels, and I'm stoked. They sent me the Stonehenge Black, which is the same that I just used. These panels are mounted on aluminum. I'm in love. So my idea was these could be so cool to paint on, do the wax finish, right? To prevent, dust buildup, and then you could just display them and you wouldn't have to frame them. Love it. So we're gonna paint on one of these today. Artist panel mounted on aluminum. Can you believe it? So it's the same Stonehenge aqua cold press, right? Pre-mounted aluminum panel, 1/8 inch. There you go. Embrace rigidity. Our finest papers pre-mounted on sturdy aluminum. Offer unbeatable support for all mediums, ensuring your art is beautifully secure from palette to presentation. Firm yet light, these ready-to-frame art panels are virtually unbreakable and provide an unyielding foundation. So they're just kind of selling this more as just sturdiness, but I don't know. I think there's more to it than that for me. So this piece is going to be my guinea pig. I am seriously thinking about painting the holiday release, the holiday fine art release on these. Definitely goog on this, friends. I kind of scratched one before, trying to get it off with my nail. Goog on it. Okay. I'm definitely thinking about using these for my holiday collection. I'm going to be releasing 150 to 200 paintings. And yeah, I just think it'd be so cool, but finish them with the UV and then wax, which I have to test that combo. So a UV spray like I normally do on all my artwork, but then the wax finish on the sides as well. And then someone could decide to just put it in an area on an easel. Yeah. All right. 45 quick and easy projects for beginners. Ooh, trees. Yes. Oh, look at the styling in this book, y'all. The time that was taken to do styling of these layouts, these flat lays. Oh, my heavens. Look at this is a flat lay. Just beautifully constructed. I want to know if the author, because usually this kind of stuff is on the author these days. This kind of stuff is on the author. I have a feeling the author did this. And these are time consuming. Time consuming. These flat lays. I love the initial. Oh, I love the poppies in this like stoneware. So sweet. I want to do that. I'm doing that. Poppies in a vase. It looks like a stoneware vase. Okay, we're gonna loosen up that binding. That's just something I do. Even on my good books, I do it. I want my book to feel like mine, like in my hands, like just, yeah. All right, let's do a little sketchy sketch. I love all the white space she uses. What's everybody working on while they're watching? Are you painting along with me maybe? I hope some of you do paint along with me after the fact. I would love that. And I think it would, the pace of this is really good for painting along because I am not in my full-blown comfort zone with all of this. So I'm not painting as fast as I normally do. As you might have noticed, I've been kind of playing around with uploads every 2 weeks, y'all, here on the permanent upload side of YouTube versus live. I've just been trying to spend more time figuring out what in the heck, yo, that YouTube wants from me, honestly. So I'm not going anywhere. I am just really trying to take some time, like I said, to figure out what the heck this freaking platform wants and how to make sure the good quality stuff I'm putting out aligns in execution with what the algorithm wants. And I hate that I have to play that game, but I want people to see it. I want to spread the joy. So anything that you all can do, I'll say this. Going on to some of my older videos, even if you're not rewatching them, I think it could help just to comment, give them a boop. Maybe if you're cooking or whatever, have them playing in the background. Some of my videos that maybe have less than 10,000 likes or 10,000 impressions, I would love, if you have the time, you'd like to hear me in the background. I've heard so many people say, I love having you on when I'm just doing, doing my chores. So, I guess I'm asking for help. All right, we're just kind of creating this shape. I'm going to do like this kind of bouncy outline and then get a wet brush, not a clean brush, and I'm going to backfill, and we're going to leave the center open, and I'm backfill. See what I kind of mean by backfill, right? And you can edit if you want to add a little, like I want to add a little more red to these edges. My edges are a little more scraggly. I like that. All right. And we're going to repeat that. It looks like maybe she did a little bit of lifting, but I got that effect by just kind of staying away from the center. And I'm going to get cauliflowering, but I'm going to leave it. She doesn't do the cauliflowering like I tend to do. But I love that. I love all the different perspectives. Okay, so here's another look at the technique. Really juicy. Okay, this is a water control conversation right at the moment. Juicy. 90% paint, 10% water. Rinse the brush just to get it wet, not to relieve all the paint. Too much water, blot. And then kind of backfill. Too much water still. And I want you to backfill. All right, and leave that white open. Now I've got a little bit too much paint on here than I would like. So I'm going to add some water. I'm going to be a little bolder, and I'm going to use, this was my 1/2-inch dagger I was using before, not my 1/4. I'm going to lift, blot, lift, blot. I'm not rinsing in between lift, blot, and done. Okay. I'm using more of a pinky red. All right, so she does the middle first. So I'm just going to put one stroke. That's even too much. I can tell I have too much paint on my brush. Get your brush wet again and kind of fill in. She doesn't do, her approach, and this could be really cathartic for some of you. This might really appeal. She's not using strokes as much as building form with washes of color. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if it makes sense what I just said, or if you need further explanation of what I was kind of saying. All right, we're just going to add those little side boop-a-doops. All right, I'm just going to use residual color on my brush and sweep in a little bit of red that will then be kind of surrounded or potentially covered up a bit by green. All right, that feels a little heavy-handed, so damp brush, scoop it up, blot. Further explain. Okay, so I love that. Thank you. I do a lot of, when I do poppies, I tend to create my poppies out of a collection of strokes. You know, you'll see me adding different colors, right? It's just a lot of strokes that eventually come together. Whereas she is doing a shape, it's more stylized. I would say, some might disagree, a little inspired by folk art. I did not read the bio of this artist. So she's creating a shape, almost like an outline, and then filling it in with a bigger, you know, a full wash instead of individual strokes. And you can kind of see the difference. Does that make sense now? Different approach. This one I think looks more folksy. My flowers look more impressionistic. Neither one, you know, no, one's not better than the other, but she has a very distinct style that appeals. Such broad appeal. Oh my gosh, look at that project. But you can see that kind of approach throughout. Not so much in her landscapes though. Oh, she's got some patterns. Oh, look at the little lamp. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right. Definitely showing up more. I see it in the animal, really distinct washes, less texture with brush stroke. I see it in this, not so much in this. Does that make sense, that distinction? Watercolor in 10 minutes a day, Garima Svirtstava. Srivastava. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stop. I said I was gonna stop. Every 30 minutes has a donut and watermelon in it. What? I mean, I did just say, I know I love the chickens. Look at the bathing suit. Okay, this is a great example. These are just like kind of, she's built this silhouette and filled it with a wash. Versus like, well, I'm just going to do it right in the book. Versus like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then brush strokey, because that's probably how I would have done it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Huh, that worked. This paper's nice. It's like coated. Cool. Anyway. Oh, crud. I lost my... All right, let's look at how... I'm not going to do that yet. I could do a little bit of the green touch. I'm just going to go a little fluorescent. All right. Oh, she did the black first. Really? Okay. I'm going to go into the red with the black, and I'm going to use a marker. I'm going to get a little more expressive because, you know, got to do you, boo. And don't worry if, like, you feel like you wish you would have left more of a white spot. You can make it big. I'm making mine bigger. I wished I would have left more of a white spot. Maybe that's why I'm saying it. Oh, and she did have a little black dot down here. I liked that little touch. That was sweet. Again, simplified shapes, simplified. It's just a little more folksy. I love it. Love, love, love it. What is she doing over here? I'm going to get that grayish wash in. I'm probably going to go a little more blue. Actually, it kind of went gray because my brush was dirty. I'm going to let some of it bleed. I'm down with it. Okay. And then let's get some green in there. I'm going to get a little bit of fluorescent, a little bit of like olivey, something or other. And her green is still kind of washy. So I'm going to put like just a little half stroke in and then blend it out a little. Careful not to get too much of that. Don't bump into that that ink because it's going to bleed. All right. I'm going to use my number 2 because I don't want a super lyrical stem. I want a little bit of a chunkier stem. That's too fluorescent for what I'm after. Let me get these in. We're going to pull that down. A little chunkier. How's everybody doing? Are we having a good time? If you are, would you give this video a boop? What a fun day we've had, huh? What a fun day. All right, I'm gonna get some of that color into the center. One thing with like a more folk art, and not all her art is folky. I don't want to get into that conversation. Like, Christy, what are you talking about? Is like repetition, limited color palette, repetition of, you know, kind of the approach in terms of how opaque the paint is. You're gonna see a lot of that. Oh, this is so fun. I'm gonna actually get that outline a little more intentional. Maybe even a little. Now this pen is running out of ink. I keep these for that exact purpose. So my outline is a little less in your face. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think she added some white. Oh, there's, yeah. I love this little neck on it. Sweet. Sweet. I think these would benefit. I'm not a big outliner, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Eee! Oh, she don't have a stem. Hello. What would happen if we attempted the stems and feel like it's ruined? Yeah, I know stems are a pain in the tuck ass. I would start a new one, let the original cure for 24 hours, come back, and very methodically and carefully lift out those stems, and or at that point add more buds, more of the pods, so that you have more opportunity to add stems over top. That's what I would do. But definitely let it be for 24 hours so that everything else around the stems that you're going to attempt to lift out would be more stable. Move on for, you know, in that moment, and then come back to it. But yeah, try it a couple more times. Absolutely. She's kind of looking like she's about to teeter off the table. You can fix that. All right. All right, all right. She is teetering. She's crooked. That's okay. Thank you. Love this. Love this book. What time are we at? Ooh. There we go. Watercolor in 10 minutes a day. All right. Last but not least is Watercolor Your Way by Sarah Cray. We all know Sarah Cray. I adore the flowers on the cover of this book, and of course they're the ones that I want to paint, but I am going to try to do something that is more of a challenge for me. I love her work so much because it is this lovely balance between, oh, let me put this up a little, between expressionistic and just boldness, and yeah, this one's fun. So yeah, I just love her technique. Love how she, oh, a shape guide. That's fantastic. So kind of a side view part of the hydrangea, full view, real, like, so this is like full view, 3/4 side. That's fantastic. I think she's using her liquid watercolors. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh. And these are quick, y'all. Look at this. These are quick. Oh, how do I decide? I want to do that daggone tiger, though. I do. Pop pink rose. Love it. You know me and the line quality. Of course, I'm gravitating to that. Oh, the atmospheric landscape. Yup. Butterfly. Oof. Oh, she's got the outlines and the templates. That's fabulous. And you can download them. I love it. Bravo. Well done. All right. Does she teach this one? I don't know if she teaches this one. But I love that she's talking about finding your style. Here's the bird. Here's the whittle bird, whittle, whittle. Gorgeous. Oh, look at the white magnolias. This tree line. Ooh. What did Nessa say? Be brave. You want me to do that? You want me to do that crazy? Okay. All right, let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. I always tell y'all to be brave. Just dive in. Kind of back myself into this daggone corner. All right. What I'm seeing, I've got a circle. I'm going small. I hope it doesn't backfire on me. I'm going small. This will be light when I first start sketching, but I always recommend that. And I see this very distinctive kind of upside down heart. And then right side up heart for the nose. Am I drawing a teddy bear or am I drawing a mean tiger? Nobody knows. And then kind of this. Okay, definitely more teddy bear vibes. Let me check my spatial relationships here. I mean, definitely got to get more almond shape. Okay, already looks more mean. I always like to go a little bit bigger with noses because just, I don't know, always seems to kind of balance things. Okay, let's get the washy washes on. A little buffy buff. Why is my buff so brown? Because it's dirty. It's dirty. Dirty buff. Oh, it's so dirty. Okay. I'll just get on with it. Oh, I don't like it. I'm going to mix it with a little blue. It's really brown. All right. I like how in this first drawing you can really see what you need to see to lay down those, not only the first washes, y'all, but the first the structural, the basic shapes, right? You can really see what is going on there. I always love seeing how different artists kind of teach, you know? How they break it down, how they get you to kind of understand where to start, what elements are needed to understand what's going on, that kind of thing. I really respect that there's so many different ways to do that. So many different ways. I'm going to smooth this out. Now, unfortunately, this has to dry. But we can speed up that process. Smidgy boop. Looking more bear-like. All right, I want to evaluate. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking gorgeous. Paint the ears of the tiger, wet on wet. Hint of orangey pink. Oh, for the nose? Oh. To get a turquoise color and add that to the iris. Okay, she's saying ultramarine and viridian for the eyes. Ivory black perfectly, not trying to create perfectly smooth edges and unevenness that you would actually see on the striped fur. Ooh. I almost feel like I want to use my brush, my sign pen. I'm going to do nostrils first. I find that eyes and nostrils have been proving to be a really good structural sounding board for me. And any little detail like that little crook of the mouth there, super helpful for me. This is the Pentel sign pen. I will get that in the description. All right, these eyes are definitely more round. Round. And they are so distinctive. The kind of step-by-step photos here are so dead spot on beautiful. You know, I've experienced books for sure that are kind of confusing with the layout of the step-by-step photos and kind of the progression. So this is not the case here. So much structure to be established in these little lines surrounding the eyes. And that really heavy bit right here on the left edge. And then there's the heaviness here, which I kind of did differently than she did, but I don't know, maybe it could still work. And then I just want to look at the pattern, the way that these are emanating. You've got starting here little bits, and then you've got symmetry. You've got a sense of symmetry. They're not perfectly symmetrical, but they're definitely, there is some symmetry going on. Oh, he's looking more angry. And you want to look at where you can start building. Like there is a marking that is emanating out from the left side of his eye. And even though I don't have it exactly like Sarah does, it's working to build this beautiful creature's face. And a little something here. Over here, it's a little more circular. There's another one coming here. Look where the lines are thinner, where they're thicker. Look at what their angle is like. This can be very overwhelming. But at the same time, I am modestly hopeful. Get these in. These are coming in a little bit, almost, they're horizontal lines, but they're a little more, they're almost straight. You know, they don't have a deep, deep, deep angle. I'll tell you what, this marker is life because it feels like a brush. Feels like a brush. Now where lines connect, these floating lines, I don't feel like have to be as, you know, precisely placed, but where a line connects with like a jowl, something that's really going to distinguish and create form is another story. And I'm still, you know, you can see I'm taking liberties here, but I'm watching carefully where I'm connecting with that jowl, right? And then a little bit down here. So yeah, you look for those connection points that really create form. See, and then it's somewhat symmetrical, like 3 lines here, but they're different shapes. And that's, that's just a beautiful testament to Mother Nature. And that also takes some of the pressure off of you. And this one connects with the jowl as well. And then come down here. Just, again, I am not being as specific. Now I want to get in, here I go, being me who doesn't like to read the instructions, but I'm going to go scratch in some of this, and you're going to see why I say scratch in, because this will wash out a bit. So we can get some of that in there. I didn't leave a lot of room for that beautiful blue in his eyes, which is a bummer, but we can do. Beautiful book. Get it. It really like this is a hard thing for me, y'all. This is a hard thing, and it's making it not so hard, because this photo in particular right here, all right, this photo in particular is so incredibly helpful. There is an art to deciding when you're creating books like this. There's an art to deciding. Now I'm about to get crazy and make it my own, but there's an art to deciding how, at what stage to take these progress photos. There's an art to it for sure. I didn't notice that these nostrils kind of extended out. Ha! I had green on that brush. Oh well, just blend it into the pink. I'll tone down that pink a little, but I did want a pink nose. Sorry. Sorry if the pink nose ruined it for y'all, but I wanted it. Oh, show. And I definitely did the shape of that a little different. I'm going to lift some of this out. There we go. I'll leave that go for now. I want to add some more of this lovely Barely There. I think she called it Barely There. Yeah, these process photos are pretty stellar. And it's hard to break down a painting process in that way and figure out what kind of photo is going to resonate most and help people most who have no familiarity or very little familiarity with the subject matter, or gosh, with the medium at all. So she's done a really beautiful job. Yeah, I love how these sign brushes just blend out so nice. All right, and we're going to get a little bit of the under here. Notice how I did that just a little differently using the marker. I think we need to go up a little higher. I like the control that the marker gives me. Definitely. I'm definitely taking some liberties on these last stripes, but that's okay. Ah, did I actually do it? I gotta get some blue eyes in there for sure. She's got more shading. Oh, she's definitely doing some of this like pretty, which is gonna be hard for me to do because I chose to use a black pen that bleeds, but she's got some shading in on some of these stripes. Ooh, there's definitely some more shading on this area where the eyes meet that nose structure. Some more shading coming up here. But I love that you could kind of just get, I could take this in a much more like whimsical direction, you know. Getting that blue in the eyes. All right. Is there another? Oh yeah, she has whiskers. Oh, I missed that whole part. Oh, the whiskers are gonna be fun. It even looks cool though at the point that she's at, honestly. I want to put the whiskers in now. You know what I say. Let's do these though first. Just these are a little curved, a little more curved than the first two that I did. Actually, no, it's just the bottom one that's curved. These are the kinds of things you want to look at. You know, are the lines curved? Where are they curving from? You know, kind of where are they emanating from? And let's put in the whiskers. They're like lazy whiskers, super long. Ooh, a little dark there, a little dark. Calm the hand, Christy, calm. And then there's some that are kind of hanging. Okay, I'm getting heavy-handed there, so I'll come back to that. That area was wet, so I got a lot more bleeding on that. So I would be lifting in that area. I went in there too early for sure. Got really excited about all these extra lines. This kind of stuff you want to do for yourself though, y'all. Give yourself the permission to be scared and to make a ruckus in your art. And just do a little bit of shading with this. Definitely things I would change differently. I can spot, and this is another thing. When you're doing something like this, that's out of your comfort zone, do it and then take time to evaluate where things maybe went a little awry, you know? Let me show you a couple of mine just for learning purposes, okay? Crooked mouth, that's okay. My eye spacing is a little, my eye angles are actually a little off. The eyes are crooked, right? Little bit too much distance in the nasal cavity area, right? This ear and this ear, like all can be fixed though. This needs to be a little elongated. This needs to be a little widened. I mean, I could get really picky. I'm going to stop here, but I could do more work around here to work this out a little bit more. You know, obviously there's more lines to be added that I think I was going to omit some, but I don't think I want to omit this one. So yeah, it's so good to do the uncomfortable stuff. It's so important, and gosh, it's so beneficial to do the stuff that absolutely scares the living daylights out of you. I love how this comes to a point. I wonder if I can, yeah, I have to do some lifting in here. I'm just doing this as an experiment, live. Taking some gouache and getting back some of my white without smudging. Can I do it? Kind of, not too shabby. You could layer it on for sure. Get back some of the white in here in the name of texture. Yeah, it was just too wet. I went in there, started on the whiskers and everything with way too wet. Anyway, gives you an idea of how the correction could really help. But yeah, I am thrilled that you all pushed me to do this, that I pushed myself to do this. And this book, but anyway, there she is. Who was it that said to grid your failed work and work section by section to improve it? Yeah, my art teacher did that. She would take, I could do a whole thing about that. You could take a printout. Let's say it's 8 by 10. Print it out 8 by 10. draw a pencil grid over it, you know, whatever's the most even, right? Then paint on an 8x10. And then sketch using the grid to show you where the different parts need to go. Super helpful. Love that someone brought that up. All right, let's just take a little spin here through. There we are. This has been a blast, friends. You'll have to let me know if you're watching this on replay and you have other books that you think need to get more attention, that you would love to see me play with. Please go ahead and get them in the comments section. And if you have questions about the way that I approach something from someone's book, by all means, get it into the comments section. I want to hear about it. You know, this is fun stuff, but I am here. I'm not just like, oh, I'm going to be here and then I'm going to leave. I stuck the painting in there when it wasn't dry, and now there's a page that has a spooch of white. I don't know. My favorite today, tiger, white tiger for the bravery, but this ocean scene from above just for the look. I mean, this is like easy realism. What was your favorite? Let me know, friends. And friends, if you are watching this on replay, please know that there is a whole kind of beginning section of these lives that we do edit out for replay viewers who maybe don't want to just see all the chit chat. But if you ever do want to see all the chit chat or just see some goings on elsewhere when it comes to Watercolorland, that's what I like to call it, you can find me on Facebook. I have 2 groups. I have Art for Joy's Sake with Christy Rice, and that's really just a page where lives and different things live. But then I also have the private group called Free from Fear, Watercolor and Beyond, and links to all that is below. All right, friends, have an amazing day and go get you some happy painting.